Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 41st President of the United States, George Bush, and Governor Mitt Romney.
Here we go. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome back Governor Romney, along with Ann and 4 of their 5 sons, to the library here. Sitting in the front row, I hope you can see them. Maybe they'd stand up, is Tag, Josh, Matt, and Craig Romney, along with Craig's wife, Mary, and their son, Parker. I did it. Anyway, welcome everybody. He brought enough family. I thought we couldn't fill the place, I think. But I have a long history with this great American family, beginning with Mitt's dad, his wonderful father, George Romney, who you could almost say was the father of volunteerism in this country. He certainly is one of my mentors on what it means to be a point of light. And when Mitt was here earlier this year, I explained to him then, as I did to John McCain and Rudy Giuliani when they came to speak, that I was not endorsing anyone for president. I simply have too much respect for many of the candidates, consider them friends. Certainly, I consider Mitt and Romney good friends. By the way, we're expecting several more candidates to visit, including some on the other side of the political aisle. We want to hear what's on their minds as well. I'm deeply honored that Governor Romney chose to return here to talk about faith in America. So without further ado, I am pleased to welcome this good man, our friend from Massachusetts, Governor Mitt Romney.
Mr. President.
You got it.
Very generous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, for your kind introduction. It is an honor to be here again today. This is an inspiring place because of you and the First Lady, and because of the film that's exhibited across the way in the Presidential Library. For those who haven't seen it, it shows the President as a young pilot shot down during the Second World War, being rescued from his life raft by the crew of an American submarine. It's a moving reminder that when America has faced challenge and peril, Americans rise to the occasion, willing to risk their very lives to defend freedom and preserve our nation. We're in your debt, Mr. President. Thank you very, very much. Mr. President, your generation rose to the occasion, first to defeat fascism and then to vanquish the Soviet Union. You left us, your children, a free and strong America. It's why we call yours the greatest generation. It's now my generation's turn. How we respond to today's challenges will define our generation, and it will determine what kind of America we will leave our children and theirs. America faces a new generation of challenges. Radical, violent Islam seeks to destroy us. An emerging China endeavors to surpass our economic leadership. And we're troubled at home by government overspending, overuse of foreign oil, and the breakdown of the family. Over the last year, we've embarked on a national debate on how best to preserve American leadership. Today, I wish to address a topic which I believe is fundamental to America's greatness: our religious liberty. I'll also offer perspectives on how my own faith would inform my presidency if I were elected. There's some who may feel that religion is not a matter to be seriously considered in the context of the weighty threats that face us. If so, they're at odds with the nation's founders, for they, when our nation faced its greatest peril, sought the blessings of the Creator. And further, they discovered the essential connection between the survival of a free land and the protection of religious freedom. In John Adams' words, "We have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution," he said, "was made for a moral and religious people." Freedom requires religion, just as religion requires freedom. Freedom opens the windows of the soul so that man can discover his most profound beliefs and commune with God. Freedom and religion endure together or perish alone. Given our grand tradition of religious tolerance and liberty, some wonder whether there are any questions regarding an aspiring candidate's religion that are appropriate. I believe there are, and I'll answer them today. Almost 50 years ago, another candidate from Massachusetts explained that he was an American running for president, not a Catholic running for president. Like him, I am an American running for president. I do not define my candidacy by my religion. A person should not be elected because of his faith, nor should he be rejected because of his faith. Let me assure you that no authorities of my church, or of any other church for that matter, will ever exert influence on presidential decisions. Their authority is theirs within the province of church affairs, and it ends where the affairs of the nation begin. As governor, I tried to do the right as best I knew it, serving the law and answering to the Constitution. I did not confuse the particular teachings of my church with the obligations of the office and of the Constitution. And of course, I would not do so as president. I will put no doctrine of any church above the plain duties of the office and the sovereign authority of the law. As a young man, Lincoln described what he called America's political religion, the commitment to defend the rule of law and the Constitution. When I place my hand on the Bible and take the oath of office, that oath becomes my highest promise to God. If I'm fortunate to become your president, I will serve no one religion, no one group, no one cause, and no one interest. A president must serve only the common cause of the people of the United States. There are some for whom these commitments are not enough. They would prefer it if I would simply distance myself from my religion, say that it's more a tradition than my personal conviction, or disavow one or another of its precepts. That I will not do. I believe in my Mormon faith, and I endeavor to live by it. My faith is the faith of my fathers. I will be true to them and to my beliefs. Some believe that such a confession of my faith will sink my candidacy. If they're right, so be it. But I think they underestimate the American people. Americans do not respect believers of convenience. Americans tire of those who would jettison their beliefs even to gain the world. There is one fundamental question about which I'm often asked. What do I believe about Jesus Christ? I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Savior of mankind. My church's beliefs about Christ may not all be the same as those of other faiths. Each religion has its own unique doctrines and history. These are not bases for criticism, but rather a test of our tolerance. Religious tolerance would be a shallow principle indeed if it were reserved only for faiths with which we agree. There are some who would have a presidential candidate describe and explain his church's distinctive doctrines. To do so would enable the very religious test the founders prohibited in the Constitution. No candidate should become the spokesman for his faith, for if he becomes